Hey, what's up? This is Amaterasu here. It's Q&A video time, the long-awaited one. So over the last couple of weeks, I've asked you guys to ask me things that you want to know, things that you want to stick in this video, and there's been loads of different answers, so thank you very much to everyone that left your little questions. I've been through them all and picked out some of the most interesting ones, but I've got to say, in general, you guys asked some really good questions, and there was lots of valuable and interesting things in there. So yeah, I'm going to go through some good ones. I'm not going to script it or anything, so it's going to be a little bit more off the cuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. OG Bebo says, what brought you to talk about techwear on YouTube? Well, before doing techwear stuff, I would do like sneaker reviews and more general streetwear things. And I was doing, I did a few videos about Supreme and stuff because I thought that if I wanted to be a YouTuber and I wanted to do fashion stuff, I had to do the most popular things, even though I didn't necessarily like them that much. But then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy this more if I'm actually looking at things that I personally find interesting. So it's at that point when I did the ACG versus Uniqlo jacket video, and it all kind of went from there, really. I found that video much more fun to do. I found that techwear is something that I could learn a lot about, so I wanted to focus a lot more on that. And yeah, here we are. But maybe in another life, I could have really taken off doing Supreme drop videos, and now I'll be one of those kids that like wears the arm sleeves on each arm and like stacks about 10 box logos on or something. Probably not though. Quite a few people asked what I do for a living because YouTube is not my main thing, very much a little side hobby, and to be honest, it doesn't actually make a massive amount of money. So I work in marketing for a PC hardware manufacturer. So that's stuff like social media things, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I do some influencer marketing stuff, much as I don't really like to use that term. So I'm the guy that like sends out product to YouTube reviewers and that sort of thing to help get coverage on them. And I also do a little bit of events as well. So I know some of you have seen me at gaming events and stuff in the UK, and that's why. Patrick says, what equipment do I use for making videos, and was it easy to start making content? So at the moment, sitting in front of me there is a Sony RX100 Mark III. It looks really small. It doesn't really look like a proper camera, but it's deceptively good. It certainly does the job. I know one or two other people like using this specific camera, but definitely something I could upgrade. For mic, I've got a Rode NTG4 Plus that goes into a Steinberg interface, and then that goes into my PC. I don't know if you guys have seen like the opposite side of this, but I've got quite a big PC setup as well, so that does all the editing and all that sort of thing. From a technology perspective, it wasn't really very difficult to start making stuff. I filmed my first video on my phone sitting on my floor and then just posted that to Facebook, I think. And over time, I've just built up better and better things to make better videos, and my skills in editing and all that sort of thing have gone up a little bit as well. But it's more the psychological aspect that I think is the difficult thing and the reason that stops a lot of people from making videos, because they think either it's a lot of time investment, it's difficult to do, which is true, it does take up a lot of time, and perhaps people are a little bit paralyzed by the idea of like putting themselves out there and also doing this kind of talking thing to the camera, which is a little bit awkward and it does feel difficult to do at first. But it's just practice. The more you do it, the better you get, the more into a kind of rhythm that you get, and then the easier it becomes. This question from Velvet Carrot I thought was a really interesting one. Do you regret the fact that your Scarlord video is your most viewed one by a lot? And it's true, that Scarlord video has over double the views of the next most viewed video, I think. I'm gonna take this off actually, it's getting hot in here. So you might think it would be disheartening or something that I wouldn't like, the fact that my most popular video, the thing that people responded best to, was about something that kind of isn't really techwear. But I don't really see it that way, because a lot of the people that watched that video have then come and watched other stuff which is about actual techwear or about this more performance gear, and have then messaged and been like, oh, I've always liked the way that Scarlord dresses, but I didn't know what it was called or what it was or anything. But now I found out what techwear is and what it actually means, and now I want to dress in that kind of style and get that performance as well as the aesthetic. And honestly, I think that's a good thing, and I think a lot of other people could have done a similar video, but just been like, oh yeah, the Scarlord dude, like he dresses real techwear and he looks like a ninja and it's super cool. And then people might have come away with a different impression of what techwear is and what Scarlord is. So yeah, on the one hand, it would be great if I did a review of some really technical performance piece of gear and hundreds of thousands of people watched it, but on the other hand, I am glad that I made that video and that it was popular and that a lot of people got entertainment from it. Corbin has a few questions. Favorite music artists? I don't really have a favorite as such, but some things that I've downloaded or bought recently that I've enjoyed have been the new James Blake album, new J-Rock album, Redemption, a couple of albums from the internet, Ski Mask the Slump God, Anderson .Paak. So there's a little bit of variety in there, but yeah, if you like any of those, then big up. For hobbies other than fashion, I'm pretty big into gaming. I've been playing a lot of Dota 2, I've been playing some TF2 recently, gone back to that. Been playing some Smash Bros Ultimate as well, doing a few like informal friendly tournaments and stuff, which is pretty fun. I play drums as well, as some of the OG fans will know, because I used to have a drum kit back there, and I think I did actually play drums on an outro once, a very long time ago, but I can't remember which video that was. And would I rather design a shoe or a jacket with Eros and Hue? I feel like with a jacket I would end up getting a bit lost because there's so much material there and so many different potential things you can do. And to be honest, I'm no tailoring expert, so I think I would, probably end up just getting swamped with potential. Whereas a shoe, you can very clearly base it on a silhouette, something that already exists, and then change it and make a customized version or something that fits a little bit of a different look or a style or just different colors or something. So yeah, I would go for the shoe because then I think you've got that nice framework that you can work in, but then do something a little bit different and change it up a bit. Kevin asks, what brand do I have the most pieces from? I've got quite a few Nike Lab ACG things, so RIP to them, because I'm probably not going to get any more now. But I've also got a few things now from the brands that have supported me for quite a long time on this channel. Riot Division, for example, I think they were really one of the first brands that wanted to get involved with the channel and to help me show off different things to you guys. So there's quite a few Riot Division jackets back there, and there's like a belt that I've got, a bag as well. So yeah, there might even be more stuff than ACG, I think, from Riot Division. Laz asks, have I ever thought about making custom techwear clothes? I have definitely thought about that, but honestly at the moment I don't really have the experience to do it justice, I feel, because I totally get that all YouTubers, they want to do their cool YouTuber merch and they want to get loads of revenue from reselling Gildan t-shirts like 1000% markup, but I would definitely be doing myself and you guys a disservice if I did that. So yeah, I would love to make techwear stuff, but I would much rather play it a little bit slower, find out a bit more about what I'm doing, and then try and get some products together which are both true to the techwear aesthetic and performance, whilst not being crazy expensive at the same time. And also having some kind of a unique take or something that makes them a little bit more interesting. I wouldn't want people to buy stuff just because it's my merchandise or because I made it or something. I would want people to buy it in the same way that they would buy anything else because they like the look of it and they want to wear it. And I appreciate I'm kind of dreaming a bit here, but if it was the right brand and I had the chance, I would definitely be interested in doing some kind of collab thing, because then there's a bit less risk. You're letting the brand decide like how these clothes are actually made, but then there'd be a little bit of input from my side and kind of like, oh, maybe we can do this differently or that differently, in the same way that sneaker collabs will be a modification of an existing silhouette. Samurai Lemon asks, will I do a let's play of Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out? I think that would be pretty fun, honestly, but it's not a gaming channel, so I wouldn't do a let's play specifically, but I'd certainly be interested in playing it, and maybe depending on what the game is like and what features are available, maybe it would be cool to do a kind of like the fashion of Cyberpunk 2077 and kind of analyze a few outfits or items in the game, and who knows, maybe they've been inspired by real world pieces in some way, because that could be a cool thing to take a look at. Samurai says, do you plan a budget when buying techwear pieces? Do I have limits on how much I'm willing to spend per month or on a certain item? So what I do is I have a big Excel spreadsheet where I track everything that I purchase fashion-wise, and then that makes it way easier to get a visual indication of how much you're spending. So you can see maybe last month, oh, I've spent way too much money on fashiony stuff, maybe I should cool it down now. Whereas it can be quite difficult if you're not doing that, and you can very easily get caught up in buying loads and loads of new things, and then suddenly you've got no money. So even if you're not necessarily planning, like, I'm never going to spend more than £200 a month on fashion, or £500, or whatever your budget might be, just being able to see how much you're spending, that's really useful, I think. Stampy says, what got me into techwear and what's the most expensive clothing item I've bought? I think for the expensive thing, that is a tie between the ACG Alpine jacket and the Rick Owens oblique. Both of those are about 500, I think. As to what got me into techwear, that's from just browsing Facebook fashion and streetwear groups basically, and seeing certain images pop up that I thought were really cool, and then wanted to look a little bit more into what that style of dress was actually called. I remember a specific photo actually with a J28K in it, and I remember seeing that and being like, that's the coolest jacket I've ever seen, like wow, that's amazing, like I want to buy something like that, and all that sort of thing. And the more I looked into it, the more things I found to like about it. So I really like that futuristic aspect. I kind of like the cyberpunky dystopian association. I think that's quite cool because I've always been into, as you know, gaming, science fiction, all that kind of stuff. And I felt that clothing that had that performance aspect and lots of utility and lots of things you could do with it was just a really cool concept, and something that I hadn't really seen in clothing up until that point. Because before then I was dressing in a very like minimal kind of Scandinavian type way, like Acne Studios and APC and those kinds of brands, and it was fine, and I think people can look really nice doing that, but I was being a bit too conservative and I didn't really feel like I was dressing in a very exciting way. So when I saw techwear stuff, it was like, you know, yeah, just made me want to do something different. And as for whether I eat ass or not, I'm afraid you're just going to have to keep guessing on that one, because I'm never going to tell you. And for one final question from Sanao or Saneo, what are your future plans for the channel? Well, I've really been enjoying all the stuff that I've been doing already, to be honest, like different kinds of techwear product reviews and looking at different sneakers, and more general roundups of like collections and all that sort of things, and pickup videos. I think there's quite a nice little variety, which stops things getting too boring, keeps things exciting for me as well. But it would be cool as well to cover some stuff that's outside of techwear and look at men's fashion in a bit more of a general sense. And I would also like to change up some of the quality aspects of these videos. I would like to get a different camera to really make that ultra HD crispy stuff. And I've got some cool ideas as well for changing the format of some of these videos and doing some cool little edity bits that maybe you might not have seen in other videos, or you've not really seen in fashion stuff before. So if that kind of stuff works, then that'll be super cool. And I think that is most of your guys' burning questions. So again, thanks so much for putting these suggestions through. It was really cool to read through all of these different ones, and yeah, I picked out, I think, most of the different ideas. But yeah, if there's anything else that you want to know, then of course you can stick it down in the comments and I'll do my best to reply to as many as I can. And if you enjoyed the video, you want to see some more stuff like this, then hit the like button. And yeah, we'll be back next week with another video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you then. Thanks for making it all the way to the end. There's gonna be some little links going up at the top, the little square boxes that you can click on. And if you haven't subscribed, but you ended up here right at the end, then you must have liked this a little bit, in which case you should definitely click the subscribe button. And there's going to be more techwear stuff, more cool fashiony content coming up soon. So yeah, you can be the first one to watch it.